FIFA's president Gianni Infantino has stirred global controversy by claiming that a biennial World Cup would seemingly go a long way to fixing Africa's migrant crisis. That's right, a World Cup every 2 years is what we need to, quote, give hope to Africans so that they don't need to cross the Mediterranean in order to find maybe a better life. Perhaps Infantino is being a bit ambitious, and people are calling him out for that. But let's take a closer look just at how a biennial World Cup could shake up the money and power of the football world. The World Cup is one of the world's most watched events. To put it in perspective, in the last edition played in 2018, more than 3 billion viewers tuned in to watch the 32-team football tournament held in Russia. That's around 2.9 billion more viewers than those who watch the annual Super Bowl in the US. And so, this is more than just a football tournament. It's a global spectacle. Now, for nearly 100 years, the World Cup has been played every 4 years, featuring countries from every continent. But now Infantino, the head of football's highest governing body, alongside others such as former Arsenal coach and FIFA's current chief of global football development Arsene Wenger, are pushing hard for a World Cup every 2 years. The proposed football revolution has created a schism amongst fans, players, coaches, and football's various federations. According to an ESPN report from September 2021, 166 of the 210 member associations of FIFA are in favor of the change. It's important to note that the proposal has the unanimous support of 54 African federations, set to gain financially with the new plan. However, significant opposition has come from Europe's football federations, under the umbrella of UEFA, as well as high-profile players and coaches in Europe's elite clubs like PSG star Kylian Mbappe and Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp. And even FIFA's former president Sepp Blatter has taken a firm public stance against it. But the question is, why are some for and why are some against it? Put simply, the crux of this debate is money earned by small football federations around the world versus money and players lost by Europe's elite clubs. FIFA's report published on December 20th, 2021 reveals a crazy profit, $4.4 billion in additional revenue, which would translate into an average of $19 million in additional revenue for each member association. Now, assuming future biennial tournaments would generate the same profit or even a little less, football federations and those in not-so-rich countries especially would be eager to gain those additional funds, which would be spent on improving football within their countries, helping them retain local talent as well as improving their national sides. Additionally, according to FIFA's 2-year plan, GDP would increase by $180 billion and create 2 million more jobs globally. On the other side, those against Infantino's plan also have a very different perspective. The primary concern is adding to the already bloated match schedule. Players and managers have openly complained, as the risk of injuries increases drastically with this new proposal. For example, Barcelona's Pedri racked up 62 appearances and a whopping 4,368 minutes of game time last season. The idea of adding to that would be risky for his health to say the least. Additionally, continental tournaments such as South America's Copa America, Africa's CAF Cup, and the Euros already create scheduling nightmares. And let's not forget the continued existence of COVID affecting players worldwide. Europe's top clubs also see their own financial commitment to players being wasted. Many of their top players get paid astronomical wages. A jammed international schedule will mean that many of these top stars would not be able to meet the demands of their clubs. FIFA has also stated that most fans are supportive of this change in tradition, using the results of a survey it conducted to show that 63.7% of football fans are in favor of a more frequent Men's World Cup, with 11% rejecting it and 23% undecided. The proposal, which would also include a biennial Women's World Cup, also showed a majority support by fans. However, many fans, it seems, are opposing the 2-year World Cup cycle and have cited pertinent reasons to not have a biennial World Cup, the most significant being the dilution of its significance. The tradition of waiting 4 years makes it special for many. Will it be the same every 2 years? Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see. If this plan does go through, African federations, alongside other small federations in Asia and North America, are set to benefit. Local footballers in these nations who don't have access to funds, and aspiring footballers are set to gain. Europe's top clubs are set to lose, more absences for players, more delays in their league schedules, and perhaps the loss of funds could even translate to a push away from the import of African talent to Europe's elite. Now, to conclude this football debate, as it is clear in the aforementioned analysis, the idea of refugees benefiting is simply irrelevant. As Human Rights Watch's Andrew Hutchin put it in his tweet, quote, "We write reports about the reason, the abuses, the hardship that forced them to leave their homes. They never mention the timing of the World Cup. The idea that all these Africans or people from whichever background put themselves and their families in peril to attain a better life can be overturned by the World Cup is pretty ridiculous. The World Cup in football more widely does have a lot of fans, but football doesn't put bread on the table for most. And sure, increased revenue and jobs are good, but surely Africa's socio-economic problems do not revolve around football."